in nursing school, you need to save your own ass. It's basically, for lack of better terms.
Yeah. I heard these bitches running their mouth, man. Tell these broke ass bitches to come at me.
YouTube, it's your girl Kimmi back with another video, and today's video is dedicated to my fellow nursing students and incoming nursing students and anyone that even wants to pursue a nursing degree. And I'm basically gonna give y'all some tips on like how to be successful and give y'all my story on how nursing school has been, how's my start been, because I'm a senior at SUNY Morrisville and I've been here since fall 2018. And my starting journey in nursing school was not off to a good start, but here I am 3 years later, about to graduate in December with my degree. So clearly I'm doing something right. So if there's anyone you want to take advice from, it might be me. So if you like what you hear so far, why don't you give this video a like, and if you really like me, you can subscribe. But that's up to you. I'm gonna leave it all in your hands. But let's get into today's video. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna give y'all a little background of basically my pre-nursing experience, because all this starts from the beginning and into my nursing journey. Because what they don't tell you about nursing school is there is a prereq part. So the deal with my school is, I go to SUNY Morrisville. To get into their program, you have to have taken algebra, bio, or chemistry. I took bio in high school, so I didn't have to take that. So my first semester here, I was taking algebra, chemistry, I was taking psych classes and comp classes. And what they don't tell you about these classes, they're really like hard. Like each professor thinks their class is the #1 top priority. So since all of them have this mentality, they give a lot of work. Like you're doing work in class, you're doing quizzes every other day, you're doing homework on top of that, you're doing your tests. This was a lot to do as is. So I feel like I didn't even have time to really, that's nothing to, you have to do your TEAS test. So I was taking all these classes and I didn't even feel like I had time to even study for the TEAS test. And it's like I'm struggling, like I'm basically drowning and stuff, and I couldn't, like, because it was a lot. Like I had to focus on my classes to even pass, because if I don't pass my class, what's the point of nursing? So I had to focus on that my first semester. So I ended up not getting into the program for spring 2019 because I was just focused on classes, and I didn't even have time to study for a TEAS. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to take the L on this one. And long story short, I didn't get in for spring 2019 as I wanted to. So I didn't really let that falter me. I was like, you know, it's all right. So next semester, I'm gonna just take my TEAS. I'm gonna keep my GPA where it is since I already took my prereqs. I'll take some more coreqs. So my next semester now, I was studying for my TEAS. I was taking AMP1. I was taking Comp 102, like psych, like children's psych, whatever. And I was taking Spanish classes. So I passed my TEAS. Here's the fucked up part. I passed my TEAS. I'm thinking I'm in the clear to actually get into the nursing program for fall 2019. So I'm thinking I'm in the clear because I passed my TEAS. I already did my prereqs. From taking all these classes and even still like getting a C in chemistry and algebra from my first freshman year, it still weighed a lot on my cumulative GPA. So I couldn't even get into the program even after taking my prereqs and some of my coreqs and passing my TEAS, and I ended up not getting into the program because my GPA was still too low because I needed 2.75. Y'all, that legit crushed me. That crushed me because like at this time in the semester of spring 2019, I already registered my classes and picked up nursing classes for fall 2019. So to me, imagine like you get the email like, yo, yeah, you haven't been accepted into the program, and then you look at your like transcript for the following semester and it's all blank because they're like,
yeah, no, we're not jacking you.
I was crushed. I literally came home and I bawled my eyes out, and I was actually going to consider dropping out from SUNY Morrisville altogether, because I'm like, I keep fucking up. I'll start to when you really like take a hard, heavy L and you just sit there and you're like,
damn, am I even good enough for this? Like,
can I even like apply myself enough to even get there? So long story short, I basically unenrolled from school. And that summer, I was actually pursuing to go to like a LPN school for the time being because I'm doing RN here. I was gonna do LPN school back home. I even went as far as to take their entrance exam, pay their application fee, pass and all these stuff. But I guess God had a different plan because they wouldn't accept any financial aid from me at all. So I'm like, okay, isn't this a little hiccup? So then literally the last weekend of summer before like it would be time to start school, my friend was still going back, and it's just like it kind of hit me in a sense where it's like, damn, like I'm not gonna go back to school, like this college isn't really jacking me, then it's just like I'm really gonna like not go back to school. Of course I wasn't. So I packed up my stuff up that same weekend and I went right back to school, and I told myself that I'm gonna get into that nursing program no matter what. So this semester, like my main goal was to bring up my GPA and really like push through and persevere so I could get into this program for spring 2020. And when I mean like I was persevering, like I was doing way more for this semester than I ever did for any other semester. I'm talking about I was studying 24/7. Like I was living in the library at this point. I'm talking about being at the library till like 3 o'clock in the morning type of thing, studying. I'm getting early. I'm clocking into the library. I'm talking to my professors. And when I say I'm talking to my professors, I'm literally telling them like, yo, this is the deal. I need this grade in your class, or I need the mathematics. I need this grade in your class to get this grade that I need to get into this program. So whatever it is that we got to do, we just got to do. And I was really sitting there like having this talk with every single one of my professors. Like I was not playing. So that around this time I was taking like Spanish 2, A&P 2, speech. I think I was taking a writing class. Like I was still taking classes, but I took on classes that I knew that I could really sit down there and really body these grades. So I'm sitting down there, I'm studying. Like all my professors was on the game plan with me, except for one.
Die Tice.
This lady, I feel like this lady just didn't want to see me win. I feel like she just didn't want to see me win. Because imagine this. This is the fucked up part. Imagine I'm doing well in all her classes. Like I'm talking about like I'm getting 106 like points. Excuse me. I'm getting 106 on A&P 2 test that I've studied for when you could only get 100. I was really like studying that hard. Okay. End of semester rolls around and I'm going, my son thing too, I was going to everybody office hours like, listen, we doing homework together. You gonna put me on about this together. Like I need it all. So imagine, you know, I'm spilling tea, so I gotta put you on. I have to drink my tea. Peppermint, that's my favorite. So imagine I sit there and have this conversation with this lady, right? In the beginning of the semester. And then throughout the semester, she knew what the game plan was. The game plan was nursing program 100%. That was the game plan. That was the top priority. That was the mission. Would y'all believe me if I say this lady saw me come to her office hours? Because around this time, this was finals coming up. So I'm studying. Me and my friend was studying. I'm talking about like, I'm drawing out the anatomy. I'm talking about, yo, when I put on a proper studying, y'all. I put on a proper studying. Do y'all know what a proper studying is? I'm talking about flashcards. I'm talking about drawing it out. I'm talking about Quizlets. I'm talking about it all. I was doing it all. Okay. It bunned me to this day. I'm so sorry, but like it really bunned me. So imagine I go to this lady's office hours to discuss with her final, what I should be focusing on, all this stuff. I'm telling her, you know, I'm putting her on. I'm communicating. I'm doing what they tell you to do in college. I was verbalizing and communicating my needs and wants, questions, comments, and concerns with this lady. So the way her final was set up, because I took her for A&P 1 before. So the way her finals were set up for A&P 1, like your final was literally like a last 3 chapters or so. Y'all know this lady turned the final exam 100 questions. She turned the final exam into a cumulative. So meaning, cumulative means like all together. So meaning it wasn't just on these 3 chapters that I brought to her during her office hours. It was on all the chapters that we took, like that we like went over throughout the whole semester, and I did not know. And I felt like it was so shady and grimy for her not to tell me like, hey, you know, you should also be paying attention to this, because I know you, bro, I know you know that I didn't know that it was a cumulative. Okay. This lady, and I didn't, and let me tell y'all, guess when I found out there was a cumulative and it was everything but the 3 chapters I was studying the day of the final. So you know what I did in that classroom? I'm taking my test and I am bawling. Like It is pin drop quiet. All you hear me, I am like, you just hear me sniffling. I'm trying to wipe away my tears. I'm trying to keep it gangster, keep it pushing. Cause I'm like, yo, either way, if she told you or she didn't tell you, if you didn't stay for it or didn't stay for it or not, you still got to sit down and do it, right? Okay. Here's the fucked up part. This is the part where like I really felt like my chest and my heart breaking. So semester rolls around. I got A's and B's in all my classes, and I got a C in this lady class. So remember, I told y'all I have to have a 2.75 GPA to even get into the program. Y'all know my GPA was a 2.74. My GPA was a 2.74 and I needed a 2.75. I still went ahead and I submitted like an application to the nursing program in my school, because like I go to SUNY Mooresville, but there's programs within it. Like we have a nursing program, we have an automated vehicle program, we have a vehicle program, and all that other stuff. So like you're in SUNY Mooresville College, yes, but you have to apply to that specific program. So I went in and applied for the specific program. I went and did my major change into nursing instead of nursing intent, because I was thinking I was going to get this 2.75 minimum. But because this lady Diane fucked me up and really sat there and let me take this fucking test, knowing damn, sorry, I told my mother I wouldn't curse anymore. Because this lady sat there and made me take that test knowing damn well I did not study the cumulative, it had my GPA at 2.74. So no, now my back is against the wall. I done promised my mom, everybody, that I was going to get into the program for spring 2020. And I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my God, I'm not about to get in. Like why can't I get in? And I started getting so down, y'all. Like I really was like, and mind you, this was like during like winter break and stuff. So like I'm getting so down. I'm wondering if I should email them, like, you know, because like at this point I've been in for fall 2018. So that's fall 2018, that's spring 2019, and fall 2019. That's 3 semesters I've already been in school, and I was already supposed to be getting there for fall 2019. So like to me, like for me personally, it was really like I had no other choice but to get into this program. Because unlike everybody else, like I didn't really get like that much financial aid. So I'm legit paying half this money out of pocket type shit. So at this point I was feeling like I was wasting my money, because like I'm still not in this program. I've been in here for 3 semesters already. Like what's going on? So I'm awaiting my results to see if I even got into the program. And I was so scared to email these people, y'all. Like, it's not even funny. Like, when I say all my family members were sitting there telling me, just email them. But I was so scared of the response, because I didn't want to feel like I was letting down my mom or my grandma. So, like, I was so terrified to email them. Even one of my older cousins, he was like, yo, like, you work too hard for this shit. Like, why would you just give up now? Because, like, I really was not going to email them. My older cousin, he was like, you work too hard for this shit. Just try it. He literally said, he was like, and if they don't let you in, tell me you're going to kill yourself. Hands to God, he really told me, tell me I'm going to kill myself to make them put me in a program. Like, that's how serious it was. So I emailed them, and I basically explained to them the situation, like, listen, I've been here for 3 semesters. I've been trying my hardest. It's literally a 0.01 point. Like, I'm at a 2.74. I need to be a 2.75. So I talked to her about it. She ended up having a connect in the nursing program, and she basically vouched for me, saying, like, I've seen, because she literally physically seen me, like, I was working hard. Like, I wasn't lollygagging. Like, she basically vouched for me and advocated for me, saying that, like, she feel like I deserve to be in the nursing program for the upcoming semester because I worked so hard for it. And on top of that, I was working the whole time during school. Like, I'm still working while I'm in school. I've been working while being a student. So on top of all that, I was busting my ass. So she basically advocated for me, and she pulled some strings, and I ended up getting to the program. And that just goes to show y'all that if y'all have the right connect, y'all better network when y'all get to college, or if y'all in college, because if you have the right connect, it could help you out. Because she could have easily been said, nah. Like, what if I was a bitch to her on the wrong day and she just remembered him? Like, nah. You know? So, like, that goes to show you, like, be kind to everyone and be genuine to everyone, because a person could really help you, because she genuinely helped me, because she really pulled strings for me. So, and that's how I got into the program. But don't let me fool you, because when I got into this program, life still wasn't peaches and cream. Because I got there, got to the program, shit still was hitting the fan. Shit was still hitting the fan. Because what they don't tell you about nursing, Nursing tests aren't like any other test you've taken before, and let me tell you that. Nursing isn't the same as everyone before. When I was in A&P, the way I would study was flashcard memorization. In nursing, not only do you have to memorize certain stuff, you don't memorize to take a test and it's going to be like, oh, a respiration is from 12 to 20, and then the test question is like, okay, what is a normal respiration 12 to 20? No. They're going to tell you, this is irregular. You have to do on your own, find out the signs and symptoms of an irregular, as in like a low heart rate, or find out the signs and symptoms of irregular fast heart rate. So like they want you to know the signs of bradycardia and tachycardia for like nursing terms, even though all they said was respirations is 12 to 20. So the way nursing tests work is they want you to apply your critical thinking skills on what you just learned. So when you get to the nursing program, your block 1 is going to be your hardest, just because in fact you have to learn how to learn all over again, and you got to do it fast. So that was the little hiccup I was running into when I first got into the program. And my grades was not pretty at first because I was studying by myself, number one. And on top of that, I just wasn't grasping how to study. Like, I was studying all these notes, but I wasn't putting into any effort to practice, because that's really what it is. You have to practice in nursing. So my first test, I got a 65 on, and I was heartbroken. And the way my class are set up, so like I'll have it from like 10 to 12. By 11 o'clock, we get a break, and we have an hour on test. So after I took that test and I got my grade, I literally walked out, because we have a 10-minute, 15-minute break after. I literally walked out, and I went to my advisor who like worked in C-Step, whatever, and I bawled to her. I let it right out. I'm like,
I'm just a failure. Like, I don't feel like I feel like I'm doing all this for nothing.
Like, I'm bawling to her. And I called my mom. Like, basically, I'm crying to her and I'm crying to my mom, because I'm just like, I feel like a failure. But one thing I did do, and I'm always going to be proud of myself for this, I literally wiped my tears and I went right back into that classroom and I went and go get it again. So, second test rolls around. I studied even harder. This is the shit that get me. This the one. You ever studied harder for a test that you failed and you get a lower grade than the last time, even though you worked harder this time? I think that's what was bugging me the most. I'm like, so you mean to tell me I worked even harder this time, and I even pulled all-nighters this time, and I still wasn't getting the grade? Like, I got lower, like I got a 60. Hurt me even more, because seriously, like, I would understand like if I wasn't putting in the work. I was putting in the work and I was still getting that grade after I did even more than the last test. Unacceptable. So I ended up going right back to my advisor, and I started crying to her again, and she actually emailed my professors for me and said she was emailing on behalf of me, and she would like to set up a meeting with all of us, like all my professors, like my professor Rendina and Boner, and I had to meet up with them, with her. And I called my mom crying, of course, but what I did again, I wiped my tears after that 10-15 minute, went right back in the class to do it all over again. So after that, now my counselor Casey, she set up the appointment with me and my professors, and we were all sitting at a table, and I was expressing myself, like what's going on. So they were digging deeper into my life, whatever, like analyzing me, if you would say, and they already said that I was working way too much, had to cut my hours. But at the time, I was working at McDonald's, and McDonald's was giving me a scholarship. If I work a certain amount of hours, I get like a $3,000 grant for school. And, you know, I already told y'all, like, my financial aid situation, I was basically paying out of pocket at the time. So I'm like, listen, I don't really have a choice but to work this much hours at McDonald's, because if I don't do it, the bill ain't going to be paid, and this is just going to be all done for regardless. So at the time, I think I was working like 30 hours, 32 hours a week at that time, but they was like only do a minimum 25. So I cut back on my hours. Then they were saying like do flashcards, and like basically like they were giving me all the tea, but what I didn't know was, like, my counselor Casey, she literally was typing down everything they was saying that whole time, and like she was advocating for me and everything. And like I love, like she doesn't go to my school anymore as an advisor, but I really loved her because she went so hard for me. Like, you need that nursing school. You need someone that's gonna go hard for you like that. Like, she went so hard for me, and I put in the work. I did everything, and on my next test, I ended up getting an 80. So I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere here. So I started doing tutoring, and I was doing flashcards at work. I was doing like I was actually reading the textbook. Like, what else I was doing? I was doing practice tests in like a fundamentals of nursing like book. I was doing it all, y'all. And then COVID happened, and then I went online. But after I took that third test and like I actually incorporated some of the things they started telling me to do, my grades shot up dramatically. And that's how I got a foothold in nursing school. Like ever since I started, and of course like I've critiqued like my notes now in a sense where it's like I'm different because how I study now is different from how I used to study back then. Basically after my third test I got the 80, and then I even like developed a study group. When I started studying with my study group, my grades shot up and they just did not come back down. Like my grades were so well after getting a study group, and I'm talking about an effective study group too, that my grades just didn't falter after that, and I've just been on this strong horse riding it out ever since. So what I want y'all to take from this is the fact that like you have to be resilient in nursing school. Like you need to be resilient. Like you will not get anywhere without being resilient. If you can't come back from a setback, then nursing school isn't for you, because you're gonna have some setbacks, you're gonna have some obstacles, and it's gonna make you feel like, what the fuck am I doing this for? And that's just as real as I can tell you. Like it's gonna make you question like, what is all this for? Because you're not gonna see, well, if you're like my scenario where like you're doing all the prereqs and co-reqs, you're not gonna see your effort pay off right away. But the key thing for you to do is like just persevere, like just push through. Like you just have to remember like why you're doing this and why you want this. And that's what's gonna lead into my tips that I have from all the trials and errors of being in nursing school that I have for my incoming freshman students, and for my nursing students having problems, or for my nursing students that just want to look at this video and just, you know, just want more tips on success, whatever the case may be. So these are my fundamental principles that I think every nursing student should do to be successful, okay? So let's get into that. Okay, so my tip number 1 for being successful in the nursing program, I'm talking about my fundamental success, it would be to get a planner. This is my planner. The bigger the better. It's pink. Can't tell. The bigger the better. And literally in the beginning of every semester, I get the syllabus from each and every one of my classes, and I write down all the due dates for the quizzes, the homeworks, the projects, the papers, the tests. I write down every single thing, and I color code in a sense where blue is for nursing, purple's for pharmacology, like all types of different colors, just so you could visually see when something is due. Like you could see, okay, Tuesday a focus quiz is due, or Thursday, Friday my homework is due. And if you could visualize it and see, you could be able to sit there and say, okay, so I'm gonna do this and this now so I get out the way. And since my test is coming up right around the corner, I can have more time to if I just get this and that out of the way. It gives you an opportunity to organize yourself and to be able to attack it in a strategical sense where you're not drowning in work that you have to do and then drowning in study time, and then you're just drowning and no one's there to save you, because in nursing school you need to save your own ass. It's basically, for lack of better terms. So basically what I'm telling you guys is to organize yourself and get a planner. My bigger the better. And my tip that I don't do it all the time, but I do it on a day where I know I want to get like a lot of shit done. So my planner, I'm gonna show y'all a blank one. So my planner, it looks like this, and it's like, did I show you? No, I didn't. Let me show you the month. So I'll show you the month for September. This is what September looked like, and then if you flip another page, it gives you like detailed dates for September. So the way I would do this is, let me just look up. Can you let the people see my planner? Yeah. So the way I would do this is, oh my god. Do y'all get the gist of it? Like, y'all see it's vertical, right? Because I just want y'all to see that it's vertical. It's vertical like this. So I would basically like clock my day. And I'm talking about like, I would put like at 7 a.m. to 7:15, I'm going to get up and wash my face and brush my teeth. From this time to this time, I'm going to be doing my makeup, doing my hair, getting ready for class. For this time to this time, I'm going to be in class. After class, from this time to this time, I'm going to eat. From this time to this time, I'm going to do this work. From this time to that time, I'm going to do this work. And after I schedule all those stuff that I have to do, I also, as soon as I get to see stuff at the library, I write down my to-do list for the day. I look in my planner, and I look in what I have coming up to see, like, just, you know, like, dissect the stuff that you gotta do and then attack it strategically. It makes no sense to be drowning on the last day something's due when you gotta study 2 days later. So get a planner so you can literally see everything. And me, even in my planners, like, I don't just put stuff for school. I put stuff for work. I put stuff for bills, and I put stuff for when I want to do my hot girl shit. So getting you a planner is essential to organizing yourself, because as a nursing student you're going to be busy, but it's not impossible to be a nursing student, work, and still have your fun, because I'm doing it. I'm just really good at time management, and that skill had to be developed when I was still taking my prereqs and co-reqs. So if there's one thing I could tell y'all, is to get a planner, and that's key. You need to be able to visualize everything, even a bulletin board. I have a planner and a bulletin board, and then I have an Alexa, because I don't want her to hear me. And they all are constant reminders of stuff I have to do. So like, I literally have no excuse if I forget to do something. It's mind-boggling when I do, but I have no excuse. So another tip is, you need to figure out what motivates you, and then change it from being your motivation to like what disciplines you, and like what drives you to get out of bed every day. Because there's going to be times where you're not going to get the grade you want. You're going to be drowning in work, and you're just legit going to want to crawl into bed and curl up and ball. That's not an option. You need to figure out something that drives you every single day to like, even when you're not in the mood. Because I can't even say motivate you, because not every time you're going to be motivated. What if one day you're not feeling any motivation? Now, even what you said motivates you can't motivate you. You need to turn whatever drives you to want to get this done and make it like your discipline. Like, you need to like, you got to be strict with yourself, like, because in college there's no one telling you do this, do that. You need to figure out how to be strict within yourself so you can make it through this program. Because like, I know for me personally, what drove me to want to do it, even on like days I wasn't motivated, was I wanted to walk the stage and like get my degree so I could show my mom, my grandma, like, look, like, I did this. Like, I really wanted to prove that point, even to my Jackie. Like, I really wanted to prove a point that like, I could do this, I'm not a failure, like, I could do this. Because when I was in high school, quick background story, I was a hot mess. Like, hands to God bless my mother, because I was a hot mess in high school. So like, when I came to college, like, I really genuinely wanted to do this just to show them, like, you know, like, I know I gave y'all hell, but like, I'm going somewhere with my life, like, I promise. So that's what drove me like every day to like really do what I gotta do. So you need to find what motivates you. If you have kids, you know, as a mother or father, like, you this even on days when you don't want to, like, you love that kid, you're gonna do what you gotta do for it. This is your discipline every day, to get up and do what you gotta do because you want to see your kid eat. You need to find whatever it is that motivates you to want to do what you gotta do every day. Take it, turn it into the energy you need to do what you gotta do. So, tip number 3. You need an effective study group. You need an effective study group to be in nursing school. I think one of the problems I was having, like, in the beginning of nursing school, was I was so used to, like, being the lone wolf and, like, studying by myself, because it was just working for me. So, like, I didn't realize that when I got into the nursing program, I would need a study group, because you do need a study group. I'm going to tell you right now, if you know that, like, how I explain this, don't get a study group. All right, because my study group is my friends, but if you know you and your friends don't have the self-control to be like, all right, girl, we're not going to talk about Tom, Dick, and Harry and all these people, we're going to sit down and do the work, all right, commend you. Because when you study with friends, there is, the con is you guys can get off topic, but the pro is a friend could sit there and give you, like, that tough love that you need on your days off. Like, a friend could sit there and tell you, like, yo, you guys structure up, like, you know, we got to go do what we got to do, like, wipe your tears, wipe all that, like, we just got to attack it again, which is really good, because even with the discipline that, like, I'm telling y'all about, that y'all need to have, like, there's still going to be, like, you're human. You're still going to have these days where you're just, like, you're not feeling it. You don't want to. But the thing about nursing is, it don't matter if you feel it or not. You still got to do what you got to do. So you definitely need an effective study group. So you need a study group that has that tough love mentality that's going to push you, even though, don't get me wrong, your study group will push you, but at the end of the day, you still got to push yourself too. So you need to have a study group that could push you into the right mindset, like, let's just do this real quick, we got this, like, we could bust out 3 hours real quick, let's just do it, we gotta get done anyways. And you need to, like, someone to collab with, because I know, like, with my study group, we would all do individual notes. Then after, like, later in the week, after lectures, after everyone had their notes done, we would all meet up, we would all, like, share notes, even do, like, a shared document of the notes and stuff that, like, maybe you didn't get, or even, like, sometimes when you just don't even get a chapter, like, it's easier to have someone that's, like, on your level that could just break something down to you, like, real quick, versus the teacher using their big words and everything. just having someone that's on your level doing the same thing that you're doing, like understanding where you're coming from, like understanding the frustration, the trials and tribulations, is good to just have on your team to like, all right, girl, like if you falter, I got you, like, you know, just to have someone just to be able to like we in this together type of thing. Like it's so imperative that you find that, because that could really make or break in nursing. Because I legit was not doing like my my grades for nursing 1 was like 60, no, it was 65, 60, then I got an 80, and then it just started shooting up. My grades in nursing 2 and nursing 3, when I was like solely doing like studying with my groups, like every test type of thing, my grades went up to like 90s and stuff. So I'm telling you, like, studying with a group is so effective, and I don't think you should downplay it. Like, studying with a group is really that good. Another tip I'm going to lead into is you need to know who to go to when you're about to break. And what I mean by this is, like, I keep seeing me look aside, it's just I'm thinking. What I mean by you need to know who to go to when you're about to break. Well, for my nursing 1 experience, I had my advisor, Casey, and, like, I would go to her every time. I would ball it out, and she would proactively try to help me get better. Like, she didn't have to book a appointment for all of us to meet up. She just wanted to help me, and she saw that I was like breaking, so she was helping me put the pieces together before it broke anymore. I could go to my mom to talk about nursing, because it's like she's a nurse herself, so she understands the predicament I'm in, and she understands like how highly I set, like she knows how high I set the bar for myself when it comes to nursing school, because I get so angry at myself when I get a low grade, because it's like, you know better. Like you ever get a test back and you realize that you do like stupid little shit, it's like that gets you irritated, because like I know you know the material, so like you need to know who to go to. Because I've had friends that like sat there and like their teachers are just like, did you try this, did you try that, like a lack of effort to sit there and help them. And there's even some counselors at my school that have flat out told like students like, well, maybe you should do a major change. Like, a major change isn't an option for other people. Like, there's people out here that has been wanting to do this for years, so you telling them that in a vulnerable moment, like, because I'm talking about, you need to know too when you're about to break. I'm not talking about when you need help. I'm talking about when you're about to break, like about to ball. You need to go to someone that's going to understand and give empathy and like understand where you're coming from. Sometimes you don't even need someone that's going to sit there and give you advice. You just need someone to listen. So you need to know who to go to. Don't go to your dad if you know he's going to sit there and be like, well, I don't know what you're crying about. You don't want to hear all that. When you're about to break, it's a vulnerable state that every single nursing student comes upon. You need to know who you can go to when that's about to happen. Like, it might be a fellow nursing student because they know what you're going through, or it could be someone who's not in nursing school, like, or even counseling. You just need to know who to go to when you're about to break, because when you're in that vulnerable state, you do not want a negative Nancy feeding like shit in your ear, like, oh, maybe you should do a major change, or maybe you should drop this, or maybe you should, like, maybe you're just like, you don't want to hear anything negative. You just want to hear, don't worry about it, cry it out, I believe in you, we got this, like, cool off, blow some steam, then you come back, we can come up with a game plan. And I had that my nursing experience, so it's like, I know how imperative that is. Like, I've had that, and I've had friends who didn't have that, and it's so crucial, and it seems so minor, but it's so crucial to know who you're about to go to when you're about to break. And again, I'm not talking about if you're having difficulty. I'm talking about when you are on the brink of tears and you are about to explode. Like, you need to know the perfect person to go to, and it's not always family, and it's not always friends. So you have to figure out in your own walk of life who that person is for you. But it's imperative you do. Sips tea, because this is real good. I feel like I'm preaching, because, like, you know, I'm very passionate about this. But that's going to bring me to my next tip. You need to learn how to balance a social life, a work life, and a school life. And it's going to tie me right back to my tip number 1, and you need to get a planner. You need to balance in all of that. I'm talking about, you need to know when you need to break. Me, I always give myself Fridays off. I'm talking about Fridays off from work. I'm talking about Fridays off from school. Friday come, I'm not doing anything school related. I'm not doing anything work related. That's my day off from work. That's my day off from school. That's just my me time to rejuvenate. That's just how I am. That's my day. That's my day to myself. That I need to rejuvenate, clear my head, because you cannot just be on beast mode 24/7 without. No, need a break. So what I recommend is color coding in the planner. I sit there, like I said, I write down all my stuff that's due for school. But then I also write down my stuff that I have planned with my friends. So you can easily see like, okay, so we're doing this weekend Friday. Like say y'all going to the movies Friday, whatever. Okay, we're going to the movies Friday. This is due Wednesday. This is due Tuesday. This is due Monday. You need to do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Monday before you even go out. So you could have an actual, you want to be able to go out and not worry about, shit, I got to do this. This is due then. You don't want to worry about that. You need to learn how to balance that by working smarter, not harder. Like, do stuff early, study early, like, work smarter, not hard. Like, you don't want to sit there and like, okay, I'm going to go out Friday and I'm going to just cram everything Saturday. No. Divide the work amongst the week. Like, we have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. You need to be able to learn how to balance all that and let it flow. You don't want to sit there and be going crazy because you waited last minute to do something. Like, no. And you don't want to sit there and be depressed because your grades are great, but your mental capacity is legit breaking. Because that's what happened to me in nursing 3. I'm in nursing 4 now. There's 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Nursing 3, I legit had no breaks. I was legit on beast mode whole time. Like, I didn't go out. I barely went out, if ever. And that really did hinder my mental, because it wasn't until after my 21st birthday when my family came up to see me that I felt like me again, because I had that weekend long break of me just in a hotel, just relaxing, not even worried about schoolwork. And I was just surrounded by people that genuinely love me. So you need to know how to balance a social life, because if you're too much into work and school, your mental capacity is going to go to shit. Now, if you're too much to mental and having fun, your school life is going to go to shit. So you need to come in between to be a well-rounded person if you really want to be in this nursing program doing well and also having a social life outside. So you need to be able to time manage. Like, you have to. And that's going to bring me to my last and final tip. And I think this tip is most important. Well, I don't think it's it's most important, because it's the principle behind it. But my last and final tip is going to be: comparison is the thief of joy. I'm going to say that again.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
I remember when I was still trying to get into the program. When I didn't get into the program for fall 2019, I felt so upset with myself, because I was just seeing like all my other like classmates that came to SUNY Mooresville during fall 2018. They're in the program, they're doing what they gotta do, and I'm just still stuck on the sidelines. And it's just like, damn, like we basically had the same amount of time, and they got in before me, and I didn't get in with them. And it just made me feel like complete and utter shit, because I'm like, yo, it's more than capable, it's more than possible, you just wasn't good enough for it. But when that happened, even when after a test, like, I got this grade and someone else got a higher grade, like, it makes you, like, it's human to want to compare yourself, but you really have to fight through that, because you need to have tunnel vision. You need to understand, like, everybody else's journey is everybody else's journey, and your journey is your journey solely. Like, you need to look inward and just fix whatever you don't like. Like, just because this person had 80 and you had a 70, don't sweat it. Just know next time you have the 80, just work for it. Like, once you start comparing yourself, comparing yourself to others really does bring this dark, negative energy inward, because then you're basically, like, talking shit about yourself in a sense. Like, you ever had your mind go, like, damn, like, I see she could do it, you didn't do it, like, you're so, like, you know what I'm talking about. Because, like, me, I'm an overthinker, and I know this was going on in my head, and I was just feeling like shit, because I'm like, I really had, like, the same amount of time that they did, and, like, I guess I didn't apply myself enough. So that made me feel away. But you have to understand, like I said, like, everybody has their own journey everybody has their own journey that they're going through. You don't know what that person's doing. You don't know what that person has to go through. You don't know. But at the end of the day, you don't need to know. All you need to know is what you have to do what you got to do to get the grade that you need. That's all. So my number one tip, it really is: comparison is the thief of joy, and do not let it steal your joy. Because if you compare yourself to others, like, all right, for example, it's just like, say you have a boyfriend and you leave for another girl, and now you look at the girl like, she's prettier than me, she has longer hair than me. All that is doing is destroying your self-esteem. And it's the same thing for nursing school. Do not compare yourself to other journeys. Like, everyone is on their own journey. You need to not compare yourself. And I keep saying it, but, like, I really want y'all to feel me through this screen when I say, like, you need to not compare yourself. You need to know God has this plan for you, and you and God gonna work on it. Don't worry about what God got going on with other people, because grass is always greener on the other side. You don't know what they're going through. So you need to just have tunnel vision, understand this is what I gotta do. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna bust it out. That's it. Tunnel vision, end goal is the R, and that's it. That's what you gotta do. Y'all, this is gonna bring me to the end of my video. And as y'all can see, my journey in nursing school has been a long and tough one, but as you can see, I'm about to graduate December, so it's been well worth it. And I just feel like I owe it to you guys to like just put my little story out there. Like, take me as an example that it's hard. You're gonna fuck up. Like, bro, I legit unenrolled from SUNY Morrisville. I unenrolled and then enrolled back in. I don't know who does this, but I did. I unenrolled and enrolled right back in on my last semester. The semester I did right before I got into the program, my game-changing semester, I enrolled right back in. And I just persevered. Like, you have to persevere. Sorry. You have to persevere in nursing school, and you need to be resilient, because I'm telling you, there's going to be so much obstacles. And I'm not even talking about just academic wise. Like, even when I got into nursing 1, that was spring 2020, and 7 weeks in, COVID occurred, so we all had to go online. So mind you, I'm a CNA, so I was working on a COVID unit, watching my patients die like in tens at a time. And I was even having to come home and take care of my grandmother because she had COVID at one point in time. And all this is hitting the fan, and I was still persevering. I was still pushing through because I had someone I could fall back on if case need be. And I had a planner, and I was just doing all of these things out. I was just having the drive and ambition to do what I have to do. So that's why I keep saying, don't compare yourself to no one else, because I had all that going on. And then some. So my takeaway from this is, like, really persevere and, like, understand that you are more than capable to do nursing school and even beyond. So for all my nursing students that are watching, like, keep persevering, keep doing what you gotta do, and don't give up. Like, honestly, don't give up. Don't give up. It's gonna you are going to want to give up so bad. Do not give up. You don't give up. Remember, like, don't compare yourself to anyone else's journey. Don't give up, and just do what you gotta do, because you are more than capable of it, and I believe in you guys. I believe in anybody that comes to me saying they have a hard time in nursing 1, because I've been there and I understand. Like, I understand what it's like to have a breakdown in nursing school. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And if you like more videos like this, please leave a comment below and I will surely give it to you. And don't forget to check out my latest video on my contact review and tune into that, because you know your girl got a 20% discount code. And if you're watching this, I know you're in college or about to be in, so I do know you could use a discount. I'm not calling you broke or anything, but you know, college be trying to run us broke. So thank you guys for watching again, and I'm Kimmi tuning out. So love you guys, okay?